Model, model, model. She's the top model, top model, top model. She may be my lady. I the Christian one tell her this, you know. Top model, top every queen needs a king, so me love you, baby. Put you in your right, but not drive me crazy. Looking at your eyes and mine gets hazy. Reminds me of roses and daisies. From I met you, no one else can face me. I'm not acting, so girl, don't you play your conversation.
What's good, everybody? This your girl, the Diva. Topic of discussion for today is being single. So I want to kind of dispel the myth of singleness. A lot of people feel like being single is a disease, or people look at people look at singles as if we're missing something. Like there's a piece of the puzzle that, we haven't gotten yet, and so, I kind of wanted to talk about that, especially at church. They kind of look at you like, when they find out you're single, they look at you like, oh, it's okay, baby. God gonna send the right one. Just keep praying. It's gonna be all right. And I'm tired of that. Yeah, I'm tired of that. Don't get me wrong, being single is not being single and being godly, or being single and having standards, is not the easiest thing to do, especially when all your friends got somebody. I only have, 2 ladies that I hang around with, for the most part, and both of them are in relationships. One is married and one is about to get married. And then there's me, who's not even close. And so it can, be a little trying at times. Sometimes you may feel like, well, speaking from a personal standpoint, sometimes, I feel like everybody has somebody but me. Everybody's in a relationship with me. Dude, even the kids, in my youth group are in relationships. And so, dealing with stuff like that, seeing stuff like that, on a regular basis, every time you turn around, there's a couple. Every time you turn around, you see 2 people together. You start to feel like, everybody has somebody but you, and, you're never going to find somebody, or, things like that. Then the loneliness starts to set in, and, it gets rough. It gets a little hard. As far as something being wrong with me, or I'm missing something, just because you're single does not mean that you're incomplete. It does not mean that there's a piece of the puzzle that's missing. You're not missing any, you're complete. You're whole. The number 1 is a complete number. Just because the number 1 is not coupled with another number does not mean that 1 is any less of a number than the number 2 or the number 12, or 11. Yeah. You get the point. The point is 1 is a complete number, point blank, period. And the more complete you are by yourself, the more complete you learn to be, in your single state, determines how much more fulfilled you'll be in a marital state or couple state, or whatever the case may be. I really believe that. You can't be happy in a relationship until you're first happy with yourself, And I think that's where a lot of people mess up at. They look for others to make them happy, when, you can't do that. If you're, it doesn't work. Dude, like I said, if you're not happy by yourself, if you don't, first of all, if you don't know what it's gonna take to make you happy, how can you expect somebody else to make you happy? How do you know that? How does that work? If you're, if you're half of a person before you enter a relationship, you're only going to be half of a person in the relationship, and that's not all that healthy. That doesn't make for a fulfilling relationship. How can you give your all to a person if you're not all? You get what I'm saying? Anyway, and so I want to encourage, those of you, or those of us, rather, should I say, that are single, to, like the old folks say, keep on holding on. Um, what I did was, I put together a list of things that helped me, or that is helping me to walk this walk, and to be content in this single state. First thing is invest in yourself, and I don't mean buy a whole bunch of clothes or buy a whole bunch of shoes or whatever the case. I'm not talking about that kind of quote unquote investing. I'm talking about, taking the time to better yourself. Find out what your purpose is in your single state. I truly believe that, and I truly believe that there is something that I'm supposed to do before, I get married, before, my husband finds me. And like, I'm so determined to accomplish that, so second thing is set standards and enforce them. You know how the saying goes, if you don't stand for something, stand. Yeah. If you don't stand for something, then you'll fall for anything. And I think that's what happens, and especially females, we get to the point, well, dudes do it too, but I can only speak for females because I'm a female. So, yeah, I think that's what happens. A lot of times, we don't have standards ourselves. We don't hold ourselves to standards, and since we don't hold ourselves to standards, we don't hold guys to standards, and then we end up, settling for anything. The third one is, and that one's kind of lengthy, make a list of the qualities you want in a person, and then work to be the kind of person that would attract them. You know, Life Jennings said it best. You know, be the person that you want to find. Don't be a nickel looking for a dime. You know, that goes back to investing in yourself. Take the time to get you straight. That's another thing that especially humans, period, we do. We jump from relationship to relationship to relationship, and we don't take the time to get ourselves together. You know, so like, along with dealing with my own issues, now he has to deal with mine and Dion's, and that's not fair to anybody in a relationship. That's not fair. So yeah, take the time to get you straight. And with that, I'ma sign out. It's been real. It's been fun. Check y'all on the flip side. Leave me a comment. Subscribe to my page. All of that good stuff. Let me know you can stop by. Yeah. Follow me on Twitter. Friend me on Facebook. Yeah, all of that good stuff. And yeah, I'm out. Deuces.